So we have two horse and rider pairs that have been previous 5-star winners in our field. We've already seen Grappanera and Janelle Price. Here now is Chilli Knight and Gemma Stevens. Chilli and Gemma won the Bigton 5-star in 2021. Gemma Tattersall, as was, had that wonderful career with Arctic Soul, including being British Open champion, podium here at Badminton with Arctic Soul. And Chilli Knight, one of the many by Chilli Morning, owned and bred by Christopher Stone. And Chilli Morning, a former winner here of Badminton with William Fox Pitt. So we talked a little bit about second generation human winners of Badminton. I don't think we'd quite clocked that there is the potential for a second generation horse Badminton winner here as well.
Nice entrance and start to her test. And it really sets the tone for the rest of that test when you get the centre line nailed. Accurately ridden from the half past 8 metre circle and into the shoulder in. You know, he doesn't have the biggest of trots, but she's accurate and rides the rhythm. And has a clear round. She's going to be where she wants to be.
When they won Bigton, they actually started this first test on a score of 27. Their 6-run average would suggest potentially maybe about 31, 32 is on the cards, but in the mix of the predicted scores, we saw them as one of the potentially leading horses in this opening test. Get the walk, yeah, 5.45, just very, very hard on that jig jog. A couple of steps before the turn and transition.
Come through into the halt, how still he is in that halt. And being rewarded with a 9 from B. It was very square, in mobility, very confident, very safe in that halt. To what looked to be a very straight and clean change across the short diagonal there. Gemma very good at presenting her tests. Nice positioning out of the half pass into the flying change. A very easy change came through. was really well ridden there. You could just feel and see that he was wanting to go right for another stride in that half pass. Gemma just caught him with the right leg and said, nope, nope, come on, stay straight, stay upright. And she got that change through nicely. And she lowers her hands just to encourage him to stretch down in the stretching canter. And finishes with a good, lovely change to end, and a well-deserved pat from Gemma as she comes down the centre line to complete. Super, and a delighted Gemma. He was really on her side, wasn't he? He tried so hard. Beautifully presented from Gemma.
Good scores. You're just going to see there on the back screen in the background, 10th on the ranking at the moment. Are they going to stay inside the top 10 when we have all their scores to hand? British Olympian, world team gold medalist, and with this horse, 5-star winner, Chilli Knight, Gemma Stevens. Gemma, one of 11 winners at the 5-star level to be contesting the 2024 edition of Mars Badminton. 67, 66, 70 are the three judges' percentages. 31.7, not quite cracking the 30 penalty barrier, but going into the top 10 at the moment. Interesting.
Big log and approach the lake.
Now, two riders who could go in front of Tim Price and Vitali. This is one of them. One of our 11 5-star winning riders in the field, and this is a 5-star winning combination. They won at Picton in the southwest in the summer of 2021. Gemma Stevens and Chilli Knight. Gemma, a British Olympian and world team gold medalist as well. She's been on the podium here before with the wonderful former British Open champion Arctic Soul. Oh, she made that tough. She made that tough for herself, though, didn't she? She could have just gone out a touch wider. Look again, how close everyone else has been to those
comes quite straight,
mushrooms.
doesn't she? And the horse tries so hard to go between the flags.
Gemma Stevens, Gemma Tattersall as was. Chilli Knight said she's going to be riding the Hickstead Derby again this year. She's really enjoying doing a bit of pure show jumping too, but she said June is for show jumping, May is for eventing, and she is here to try and win this.
She's certainly making it happen. A little bit of a hop and a skip into the water, making sure she got between those flags in the corner.
The competition being led post cross country by Tim Price, but remember, one of those who could go in front of Tim is out on course at the moment. It is this pair, Gemma Stevens and Chilli Knight. Of course, by Chilli morning, the former badminton winner, so Chilli Knight is actually the first second-generation five-star winner we've had a look at, having won the Badminton five-star himself.
Really holding her line beautifully through the eyelashes there.
Out to the vicarage area of the course for Chilli Knight. Owned and bred by Christopher Stone, who owned Chilli Morning.
Having a little look at that step, quite a few of them have done that.
But she was very close into the left-hand side. It felt to me earlier on like the room and the line was a little bit right of centre there.
But very clearly, when she was coming out of the water, that she was going to turn the circle. Landing and moving on.
She's in the mix time-wise. However, she needs to be inside the time to stay in front of Tim Price. He is on 31.7, she is on 31.7 after dressage, so she cannot afford a single penalty to stay in front of Tim.
A little trot stride before that first oxer, but giving it some height.
Gemma Stevens down at the focus of the vicarage area, the vicarage V itself.
Just giving it a little bit of a growl on the way in there, a little extra encouragement, beautifully jumped. She prepares for the drop down to the tree stumps. It's looking as if she's having a few little conversations there. Very clearly on that line and very positively ridden to that second tree stump. There was no question there that they were not going to go between those flags.
This, however, is bad news. Here's a question. When we get the Huntsman's replayed this long after she jumped it, this is to do with a problem, and she's going to be given here, we believe, a flag penalty. Now, our camera shows one angle. There's actually a dedicated camera, you can actually see it there on its little tripod, looking at the line, and that is available directly to the officials so that they can make the call on that penalty.
But she won't know that. She'll know she'll be close to it, but she'll be very much focusing on the final few fences here.
That means that it's only Caroline Powell and Greenacre's Special Cavalier, New Zealand, that could overtake Tim Price. New Zealand for the overnight lead.
Nice little turn back to the third element there, keeping him very balanced. He looks to be galloping along really well here at the end of the course.
5,450 metre course.
This test of balance for the horse that's been nearly 10 minutes already around this course. He answers it easily. The time here is going to elude them. It's less left on the clock than there was for Tim Price. She's going to keep motoring and moving all the way up to the finish line. Gemma's going to leave nothing behind. She showed that the year she won the British Open Championships up the big hill at Gatcombe Park here in Gloucestershire.
She's pushing up the hill towards the second to last fence. A really nice fence. It's imposing, gets them up in the air towards the end of the course. As they make the turn to climb up a little bit of an incline to the second to last fence. Sorry.
So we see the time penalties ticking away here in the corner for Gemma Stevens and Chilli Knight. She's such a popular rider. 18 seconds over, 53.9 is the score we're told at the moment. Again, that is including the flag penalties, so it's all provisional. Those flag penalties, they're given, so, and then they can be assessed. The easiest thing always is to give and then take away rather than to add them on later when they're unexpected. Gemma Stevens in the ring with Chilli Knight, 15th on 53.9. This one by Chilli Morning, the Badminton winner for William Foxpitt a few years ago, and this pair, five-star winners at Bicton in the pop-up five-star, as we refer to it, in 2021, when Bicton down in the southwest in Devon stepped in for the Burley of that year as we all came out of lockdown and pandemic.
And Chilli Knight looked a little bit keen at the beginning of the cross-country course yesterday, but they certainly had a fantastic round.
Looked a bit keen at the end too.
Fortunate, yes, he finished very well. So unfortunate with that flag.
Yeah, they picked up a flag penalty up at Huntsman's Close, so that was 15 penalties in the jumping column for this pair that wouldn't normally expect to pick up problems on the cross country.
Gemma does a lot of show jumping now alongside her eventing. Just jumps a little bit off to the left but stays clean.
There's nothing to choose between them either. Gemma can't even afford a time penalty. She couldn't afford that rail, so that moves Bubby up a place. And the reason Bubby and Gemma held different rankings was due to their closeness to the optimum time yesterday. Gemma was very fast, just 7.2 time penalties.
As they clear the last.
375 metres a minute, no problem for a lady who has as good a foot in top-level show jumping here on the national scene as she does in eventing. That one fence down cost them one place, but comfortably inside the time for Gemma Stevens and Chilli Knight, dropping to no lower than 16th overall. Bubby Upton will be top 15 or better with her clear, and again with the scores racked up very, very close, Bubby Upton could easily end up top 10.
Just lovely. She never looked to be in a hurry. She kept those turns really nice and tight.